Well, hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott, and coming up today on Lifestyles for Women, today we meet a lovely young lady who began loving horses at a very young age. Find out how her love has grown for her horse, Midnight, and how her passion to compete in several competitions is now bringing so much joy to her life. All this coming up today on Lifestyles for Women. We'll be right back. Thanks for being with us here today on Lifestyles for Women. We have with us a great and special young lady, Burgess, and she has a great story to tell. And Cece, thank you so much for being with us here today. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
You know, I was so inspired by your life, your story. I wanted to share it with our community, your love for horses and how that has inspired you to even go on with competition and even more so as we get into the story. But let's first take a look. You have some pictures I want to share.
Yes.
This kind of tells the story of your love for your horse. And let's look at that. Let's
Okay.
let everyone. Now is this Midnight?
Yes, this is my horse Midnight.
Beautiful.
This is a professional picture taken. We did get these taken because I love the horse so much. That is us walking up our driveway.
That's beautiful. Let's see the next one. Oh,
That is us standing on the hill, and there was something down on the bottom of the hill that he had to look at, so I kind of looked at it too, and it made a beautiful picture.
Oh, I love that.
He looks like a king in that other picture.
Oh, look at that. You can tell the love there.
Yes, that horse is awesome. He's the best horse I've ever had.
And that's still Midnight, right?
Yes, this is still Midnight.
Right. That's beautiful.
That is us beside the pond. I know that y'all probably can't see that, but he's actually sticking his tongue out.
And why is he doing that, I wonder?
I do not know.
It's so cute.
There's a myth that if you pet your horse's nose, then they'll stick their tongue out, and I guess it's true.
Oh, look at that.
That's another picture of me on him bareback.
Wow, that's beautiful. Beautiful. You can tell you really have such a love for
Yes.
that horse. But you know, you started at a very young age loving horses, and I know
Yes.
that you talked with me earlier about both of your grandfathers, Larry Langford
And Ronnie Burgess.
Burgess
Yes.
have all both have inspired you to love and
Yes.
appreciate the horses.
You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead and tell the story.
Okay.
How you really became excited about the horses.
Okay.
What age were you?
I was 5 or 6 when this started.
And now you're 13.
Yes, I'm 13 now, going into 8th grade. My first horse, and he wasn't necessarily mine, he was a dark-colored horse. His name was Midnight. This was the first horse. He was very old, but he was the first one that I had ever gotten on. He was just he was the one that I kind of got on. You know, I walked around. I never really did much with him. The place that I rode him, it wasn't much to do there. But the second one was my other grandfather, Ronnie Burgess, and he got a horse named Buttermilk, who was a mare, which means a girl horse. She was pregnant at the time, but she had never been ridden before. I think he got her because he kind of wanted something to have in his pastures other than cows. And she eventually had her baby. We had to sell her, though, because we later got a horse named Trooper, which is the horse that made me realize that I really did love horses. It was not just something, you know, I did for fun anymore. He was the one that actually taught me, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to do something with this. At the time, I wanted to kind of be a veterinarian, but that kind of
Changed.
It changed over time. So after him, my grandfather and my brother decided they needed a horse because they kind of wanted to follow along with me. So my brother got a horse named Black Beauty, and my grandfather got a horse named Pepper. And one day we were all galloping through the pasture, and Pepper stepped in a hole with her foot while my grandfather was on her.
Oh, no.
And he broke his pelvis.
Oh.
He was laid up in the hospital for 6 months, and it was horrible. Like he had rods in his stomach. It was the worst thing ever. I did not think he was going to live, but thank goodness he did. After that, it was kind of like we sold Pepper. We did not want her in this anymore. We got a horse named Buddy. Actually, I named him Buddy. We didn't know if we were going to keep him because we already had, all these other horses. We didn't know who we would actually let ride him. It ended up that I rode him. I named him Buddy because he was really sweet. He was an older horse. He wasn't the oldest I'd ever ridden, but this is the horse that got me into competition. He was
Buddy.
Yes, okay. He was not the fastest horse, if you would say. He was kind of the one that taught me, I got to be here when I'm turning this barrel. I've got to be here when I'm turning. He taught me, competition's what I want to do. I don't want to be a veterinarian anymore. That was around that time when I decided I wanted to do barrel racing. My grandfather decided I needed English lessons if this was going to happen so that I could have balance and not actually be, toppling off the saddle. I've seen so many people fall off.
So there's a difference in your training. You've had English
and Western.
And the English teaches you, I think you said, more about their balance.
It's a lot more about your body than just being there, sitting in the saddle. Western is kind of more of the laid back. That's really why I like it so much. English is so much tighter and more, I don't know, it's more competitive.
It's a little bit more formal.
Yes,
riding.
More formal, definitely.
Right, and then the Western is what you're doing now, what you enjoy the most. Okay, and I have to take a break here, but I want to come back to that because it sounds to me like not only have you enjoyed loving the horses, but they've also taught you.
Yes, they've taught
me. Which you don't think of that when you just think about that in general, but owning a horse, you can learn a lot from that. What I want to show when we come back, some pictures and some of the competitions that you have been in.
Okay.
It's amazing. So, all right, well, stay with us, and you stay with us here on Lifestyles for Women as we continue talking with CC Burgess. We're going to show some of their pictures and some of where she goes from here. So we'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back again to Lifestyles for Women as we are continuing our show today. In case you have just joined us, we're talking with CC Burgess and CC's love for horses and competition. And CC, again, we appreciate you being here and telling your story about your horses. And one thing that I talked with you a little bit earlier about, you live on a farm.
Yes, I do.
You grew up on a farm. Both grandparents have farms. So you're surrounded.
I am very surrounded. Yes.
So how many horses do you have on your farm right now?
Well, I've counted. I think we have 9.
My goodness. And so your favorite horse right now is
Midnight.
Midnight?
Midnight Bite.
Okay. All right. And we have some pictures, so I guess we'll go ahead and start looking at some pictures. And you kind of tell us the story of what we're seeing. Okay. All right. What is the first?
Okay, this is 4-H camp that I went to this past summer. Those are all of my friends. If you can see me, I'm on the end. Let's see, it'd be on your right.
The far end?
No. On the left. The left.
Okay.
That is me and Midnight. That is right after we were barrel racing, so that's 4-H camp. Okay. This is my horse Spinner. He was actually really young in that picture.
Looks like you were too.
Yes.
How old were you?
I may have been 8.
Okay.
This is me at Midnight. This is really recent. This was maybe we were really early. This year.
Oh, this year. That's this year.
I think it was this year.
Okay.
That's at a rodeo.
Yeah.
This is the same rodeo, but this was a long time ago. That was pole bending. That is my horse Buddy that I talked about earlier.
It's beautiful.
Yes, he is very big.
Oh, this is pretty.
That's Midnight. That is barrel racing at the same rodeo that I was talking about.
Now, Now, what is this, barrel racing here, or what is this?
This is pole bending.
Okay, now tell me about this.
Pole bending is, there's 6 poles set up, and basically you run down on one side, and it actually does not matter which side. I always choose the right because I train my horses to one side. The right is always better since most people are right-handed. I'm left-handed, so I go in on the right. When you get down, you turn left around the end pole, and then you weave down through them. And when you get to that other end pole right there that you can see, you turn left, or no. Yes, it's right.
The opposite direction.
Yes, you turn the opposite direction, then turn around and weave back. And once you've weaved back, you turn around on the opposite side of the poles and you run out.
Now, do they time that?
Yes, this is a timed event. The fastest time wins. It's actually really confusing how they do the 1D, 2D type stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the pole bending.
Okay. And what is this?
This is barrel racing. That was a very harsh run. We were running out really, really fast. That is me on midnight.
Wow.
That is also barrel racing. I think that's the same run, actually. I believe that is the third barrel.
Okay. Is it scary when you're doing that?
It is.
Okay. Let me. Well, since we've got this one up, let's talk about this one here. What do you have here?
These are. Let's see. That's team sorting is one of them, and that is really where you sort cows according to numbers. And the other one is dummy roping, where you basically just rope a dummy cow. And the other one, so they're both cow events. One of them.
So this is totally different from the horses.
Yes, this is
a whole different competition.
Now, the sorting is done on a horse. You have to use your horse to move the cows around, but the dummy roping, you do it without a horse. So,
well, how much time do you spend working with your horses? I mean, during the day, just, okay, we're in summertime, so what's your typical day?
Well, since we are in summertime right now, summertime usually all day because I don't have anything else to do unless, we're on vacation or something. But during the school year, it's a lot harder. I would say, once I get home from school, I change and run, over to my grandparents really quick and
you
hop
just
on.
love to ride.
Yes.
What does it do as well? Riding a horse must be, is it relaxing even though it's work?
Well, I've been told by my little brother, who also rides horses with me, that I'm a better person when I ride.
Really?
Yes, because my parents always tell me I have a bad attitude sometimes.
You're a teenager.
Yes,
what can I say?
But when I'm on a horse, I've always got a better attitude, and I'm always a happier person. Right. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily say it's soothing, but it's relaxing.
Yeah, so I can see that. I can see that. What have you, experienced with horses? You said Midnight is your favorite right now?
Yes, Midnight is the horse that I compete on. Those are the pictures that they just saw. He's basically the horse after Buddy. Buddy was kind of like the slower one. He kind of got me into what I was going to do. Midnight's the one that's actually won some stuff for me. He's the one that won the sorting belt buckle. He's the one that got me into competition. He's not necessarily with Buddy, it was kind of like, oh, I'm doing competition, this is fun. Well, with Midnight, it's serious. It's like, you got to get a certain time so that I can win.
How do you prepare him?
Well, we do have an arena at home. It's not very, I wouldn't say it's covered. We have our own barrels and own poles that we can set up in there and practice with. My grandfather built them for me so that I could have something to practice with. But that's pretty much what I practice with.
So you spend a lot of time working with those horses. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about where will this lead from here. Because you have already won several competitions and achieved a lot. And I know you already have big goals for your future. And I want to hear about that too. So, all right, stay with us here on Lifestyles for Women. We'll be right back in just a moment. for joining us back here on Lifestyles for Women as we continue talking with Cece Burgess. Cece is a truly lover of horses, and Cece, you have made me excited about wanting to have a horse myself now that I see your passion for this. You know, we talked a little bit earlier about you know, some of the things that you have learned from working with horses and how your love and passion has grown, and what lessons. I mean, you're just 13, but what lessons have you learned this far?
I know that my grandfather Ronnie, this has come from him, but I've kind of gone through Larry too. He hasn't said it, but he expresses it. He would always rather me learn something through putting the work into it than going out and buying something. He would. Both of my grandfathers, they're old-fashioned men. They would much rather
Hard workers.
Yes, hard workers. They would much rather see me be able to ride any horse than for me be trained to one horse that we went and bought. They both know that I'm gonna turn out better as a person if I know that money is not the answer for everything.
What a lesson learned for such a young age. Your dedication to this is just to be admired. And you know, you look at it now. I mean, you're very unusual for a teenager. Most would be, you know, sitting here doing texting her all the time. But you've really branched out and doing something that will lead you in other directions in your life. Where do you plan to take it from here?
Well, I have planned on going to ABAC College in Perry, Georgia.
And ABAC stands for?
I actually do not know.
Well, I mean, it's for a college specifically for
horses.
Okay.
Horses. I know that barrel racing is really big down there, but it's a very good college for barrel racing. You know, the rodeo events, that kind of stuff. I hope I win a whole lot more prizes than just the belt buckles and that kind of stuff. And after ABAC, I plan on moving, you know, and hopefully going to Montana or
really,
you know, yes, traveling and going to bigger rodeos.
So we may see you on the real big screen someday, then, huh? That's very interesting. Well, it's been such a delight to have you here. We've got a few minutes, I think, left. Let's look at the pictures that we showed again on the beginning of the show in case someone just joined us, because these pictures are just beautiful and it expresses so much your love for your horse. And again, this is...
Once again, this is Midnight Bite, the horse that's carried me so much longer than any of my other horses. He's the one that is really getting me there. He's going to be the one that really gets me where I need to go.
Right. That's a beautiful picture.
Yes, I love that picture.
Yeah.
He looks like a king.
He looks like he's just really posing for that picture.
Yes.
Very
and
pretty.
I have no clue what he's looking at.
Very pretty. This is the one that's my favorite.
Yes.
I love this.
He's looking at the camera person in this picture.
I love that.
I love this horse. I don't think many people get to express that with, I mean, because you don't go up to your parents every day, oh, I love you, Mommy.
Yeah, but the horses.
But with horses, yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't really understand it, but once you've really clicked with the horse, you want to pet your horse, you want to give your horse hugs, you want to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Do you think that, you know, they really become like your best friend, don't they?
Yes, they are your best friend. And like I told my dad one day, he's scared about me getting boyfriends and that kind of stuff. I told him, my boyfriend's my horse. You don't have to worry about that.
Cute, very cute.
He is sticking his tongue out in this picture.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Yes.
I love it.
Once again, that's me hugging on him. I'm petting him.
Right. It's really interesting how your love has developed at such an early age to where we are now. And I know that you talked about the competition that you've been doing now. There are two barreling, and what was the other?
There's barrel racing and pole bending.
Okay. So as you can see,
That's pole bending.
Yeah. You've been in a lot of competition, and looks like you've worked very hard for this. And I just want to say, you know, good luck in your future, and I know that it's going to be exciting as time goes on for you. So, well, let me ask you this, since we talked about the horses. Now, you go to school where?
I go to Dalton Middle.
Okay, and you will be in the
8th grade.
8th grade, okay. And I will say your mother grew up with horses as well.
She did.
Yeah.
So this is it's kind of gone down through
It's a family thing,
It's a family
isn't
thing.
it?
Yes.
Very interesting. So, well, listen, I just want to say again, thank you so much. Good luck in your future. It's been a pleasure to meet you and have you here. A great tribute to your family, to your grandfathers, and to your entire family. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate it. And we thank you for being with us here on Lifestyles for Women. Hope you've enjoyed the story with Cece Burgess. Until next time, I'm Judy Elliott, and we hope you've had a great day. We'll see you next time.